June 10th, 2022. I'm watching CBS this morning. I did an earlier video about something completely different. This particular one, there is a thread of reality between the sports bleachers in a BLEACHERS, the ones that they use when there's a sports event for high school. I went to more of a modest high school, but I did see this morning there was someone who went to some kind of monetarily infused high school, who had some kind of gigantic upgrade in the educational system. He also happened to have two parents who had PhDs already, so his life path was whatever it was set for. And that microcosm of factual basis, then there's this other mention on today, this CBS this morning in New York, that mentions something to do with golf, because most high schools don't have a golf course that I'm aware of. I've seen a track and field. That's what mine had in Modesty. Then they had some kind of nondescript field where there were various sports played with two goalposts and not much painted on the grass. But it was open to interpretation depending on what equipment the school had as to what the coaches were teaching or introducing the children to. And so, but this PGA Tour speaks of two outside countries, not in North America. They're talking, so this is now like on some kind of global or worldly scale. The man in the story has a Canadian mention behind him, and it's in some 3-letter acronym, which Professional Golf Association, PGA, again, that's how they've presented it. If there's another acronym I'm unaware of, again, this is what North America pronounces to the couch potato level of human that graduated high school but didn't have shoulders to stand upon in order to get to like a PhD level, certainly. So this is what it looks like.
All right, now to another story we've been covering all this week. We have some reaction to the PGA Tour's decision to suspend 17 players competing in a Saudi-backed golf tournament this week. PGA Commissioner Jay Monahan issued a scathing memo saying participation in the LIV event violates PGA rules.
He just said, the words he said in the construct was LIV event. Chair and couch potato in my one place. Has no idea what a LIV event means for campaigners or solicitors or people in the know elsewhere that have a different echelon or style of living than I'm currently at. I don't know what this LIV event is. I've heard this word Saudi, Saudi. I know that I've heard there's a place on the globe that has the 5-letter pattern. Although that 5-letter pattern then has a different pattern after it, so it's constructed however it's constructed. But what does not make it into my very real everyday life as a human to understand and interact with other humans is what it means for safety, security, or participation, since that word and patterned word seems to be reaching by ear, and some humans know what it means for them, whether to defend it or whether to attack it, whether it be by verse or whatever. I do not. So that, again, as some disadvantage that's happened along the way. They were not speaking of such things in school growing up. There was not this global studies program. There may have been the word pattern on a transcript, but it was not the actual education that was in the room was not at this level. That was not a household word in that particular time of, I think the classes are anywhere between 30 to 45 minutes. So that was interesting. And then the reporters speak of something that's going on there, but they just mention that something's going on there, but they don't say what it is. So again, there's more shrouded in the secrecy and this dark. I wouldn't even know how to chase what it is he's referencing. He intimates that there's something else going on somewhere else in a conversation or in some fight, but I mean, how and what it is, I don't know. And he also mentions another 5-letter word. So there's these 2 5-letter words that they mention in pattern, which have a symbolic pattern on the sphere in continents and containments of elsewhere that is very unclear at where I'm at what it actually means or how it's constructed or how one's supposed to interact with the receivership of that level of information.
Among those suspended, Dustin Johnson and Phil Mickelson, who teed off at Liv's inaugural event yesterday outside London. Mickelson was tight-lipped when he was asked about the ban, but here's what this year's PGA Championship winner had to say.
They're obviously throwing so much money at people that it's very hard to turn down. I mean, I don't care what you say in terms of, that people play for different reasons. It doesn't matter who you are, what it is, everything has a number.
That has a source of NBC Golf, and then behind him it says Canadian Open. I don't know what that means. And that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That's an 8-letter word.
So this has been an interesting discussion that people have been having. I will note that Senator Tom Cotton of Arkansas tweeted this: the same PGA that partnered with China is attacking golfers for playing in a tournament funded by Saudi Arabia. What a joke.
Those are the 2 5-letter words. That level of tweet I don't even follow because I don't know. First of all, I don't even know. Again, there's so much I feel like I've missed, and then there's so much they throw at you, and how do you even interpret this the right way?
In other words, the point being made that oftentimes people here and everywhere deal with unsavory governments, and what
I find that an interesting word, unsavory, categorically, and savoir.
Why is this any different? If you're going to deal with one, why not the other?
I think because perhaps they have a lot more money, maybe, and they're attracting people away. It's like, hey, it's stay or play or you're off.
PGA is trying to protect its tour. It wants
Right,
the players,
exactly.
right, for the PGA.
But we should never forget what the Saudi government is accused of doing. That's
Yes.
something really important.
Again, how does he find out what the Saudi government's accused of doing? Like, they're not mentioning that on the television here. I don't know how to access that level of information. Where does one go? I mean, he's a reporter and he's I don't know, he's got a large network of tools and utilities and other people with knowledge in advance of where I'm at daily. So they're having these conversations at all these different levels that I'm left completely in the dark in this like riptide pool, it feels like.
All right, Halsey is apologizing to fans after keeping them waiting inside a concert venue in Maryland, then canceling the show. The singer was about to perform when a severe storm hit the area on Wednesday and flooded the arena. Concert goers posted video to social media showing water rushing in from all sides. Some stood on railings to evade the fast-moving floods that swept up food and even, guys, rodents.
Yikes.
I know.
Ew.
Imagine you're sitting there and you see a little rat go by. On Instagram Live, Halsey said local authorities advised the crowd to shelter in place to prevent a stampede or traffic accidents.
I was trying to do the show by any means necessary. However, not wanting to break your heart is not as important as wanting to keep you guys safe. So ultimately,
I love that sentiment. Halsey says the concert will be rescheduled. She's not responsible. It's the weather, folks.